We've put together a world-class organization.
I don't really have the time to do it, but I really need to start looking at new vendors.
Since I took over the support organization, we're beating benchmarks in every category. We do lots of smart things. We use skills-based routing to make sure that customers get routed to exactly the right team.
I really hate how when I call in I have to go through that phone tree hell. And then when I'm waiting they say, your call is important to us.
We set up a team of customer service representatives who can fill out the case record and then escalate immediately to the right technical resource. Our average speed of answer beats service level targets 98% of the time.
And then when I do get to a live person, it's someone completely useless, definitely not from around here. They gather a bunch of information, but I'm not even sure they understand what I'm saying. Then later, I usually get a call from someone actually useful. Except once we start talking, I have to repeat everything I already said.
Maintenance and support delivers the company's highest margins. We defend our support revenue, for example, by making sure that our valuable knowledge-based content is secured behind a customer login.
I don't even want to call in the first place. When I have a problem, I just Google it. But they don't put anything useful on Google. I call way more than I ought to with all the easy stuff. That makes me feel kind of dumb.
We've moved customer satisfaction scores up to 4.73, which proves we're making customers happier. At the same time, we're saving money.
I respond to the surveys they send out after every case. I give them high ratings because they usually solve my problem, and besides, I don't want to get the engineer in trouble. If they ask me how I feel about the company, I'd give them a pretty different answer.
Of course, the bottom line isn't what I say, it's what customers say with their dollars. Our attach and renewal rates are some of the best in the industry.
It's not like I have a choice about renewing support. We have to stay current on security updates, and if the system goes down, we have to get it up again. But I hate paying so much just to keep things working. That's one of the big reasons I have to find another vendor.
I know we're world-class by all standard industry measures, but sometimes I think about how I feel when I have to get support. Most of the time I hate it. And I know their execs must think they're doing a good job. So I wonder, is there a disconnect? A disconnect between how I see things and how my customers do? Have you ever had this feeling? Have you ever known you're crushing it at work, your numbers are great, and then you have a support experience, or you talk with a customer and you wonder, are we really doing the right things at all? We call this the disconnect between how we measure ourselves and how customers experience what we do, the value we're creating for them, referenceability, their loyalty. It's not a good feeling, and it's not good for the business. So we know of only 3 things to do about the disconnect: customer experience journey mapping, better metrics, and knowledge management. So let's take them one at a time. First, the way that customers experience the service you deliver is not the same way that you think about it, probably. Take the case, for example, or the incident, or the trouble ticket, whatever you call it. Customers don't just buy products, they buy expected value. And when everything works as planned, that's the value they get. But sometimes things go wrong, and customers end up opening a case. Well, that's how we think of it. Customers just know they had to ask us for help. Now, when they do, we need to make things right as quickly as we can. But even if we execute perfectly, it's still kind of a lousy experience. For us, the clock starts when they open the case. But the customer probably did lots of other things first. Just lived with the problem, asked other people, did a Google search, maybe looked at our website. This is all part of their experience. In many cases, it's their whole experience. They never even open a case. But we pretend that somehow nothing counts until that happens. That's a big disconnect. And it goes way beyond cases. So step 1 is mapping your customers' journeys. Get people from all the different groups that interact with customers in the same room together. Pick some customer journeys you'd like to explore and map them out. Walk through experiences from your customer's perspective, not just when you get involved. Take their emotional temperature. Identify key moments of truth. Are there things that fall through the cracks? Things you could help with? Our experience has been that you'll be amazed at what your team already knows about the disconnect in your environment and how easy it is to make the customer experience way better. I predict that your customer journey maps will tell you that your measures are more about you than about your customers. Case handle time, backlog, SLAs, CSAT, they all have their place, but they only give you a little tiny fraction of the customer experience. By looking at your journey maps, you'll likely be able to pick measures that your customers will care about too. For example, Sage knows that only a small fraction of the issues their customers have are resolved in cases. So for them, cost to answer through any channel, including self-service, is a better indicator of how they're doing their job. Or wouldn't it be better if people didn't have to open cases at all? That's why Bill Price, formerly of Amazon, suggests measuring contact rate. How often do customers need help? Customers don't want to work hard to get the answers they need. That's why CEB recommends calculating and reducing a customer effort score. There are lots more examples. What matters is measuring the win-wins, the things that are good for you but create great ownership experiences for your customers. And how are you going to create great ownership experiences for your customers? Well, knowledge, of course. Knowledge is the key asset of your organization, and if you've followed us for the past decade or so, it's probably because you're interested in knowledge. We still think everybody should be doing knowledge-centered support. Click there to find out more about KCS. But what we found out is that the organizations that have done a really great job with knowledge have done it precisely to bridge the disconnect. They're less focused on the operational measures and more focused on creating a truly measurably better experience for their customers. Less time to resolve, more helping your team make customers successful. Fewer product workarounds, more improvements. Less deflection, more customer success. Because ultimately, customer success is why you earn your paycheck. So we're still big fans of knowledge in KCS, but we've learned more about how to make it really stick. And that's all about focusing on customer success. So, that's the plan. Map your customer journeys, measure the value you create, and enable every step with knowledge. It's not rocket science, but it helps to have people who've done it before along with you. So please let us know how we can help.
Drive hard. Drive Mustang.